Hello students, today I am starting new chapter and your new chapter is life process. In life process transportation topic I am starting today. In this topic you have to read about transportation in human being as well as transportation in plants both. I am starting transportation in human. Now first of all, you will see what is transportation. Actually, transportation is a biochemical process in which some substances are transported from one part of the body to other parts through a circulating fluid. This is the definition of transportation. Here you will see biochemical process, second one substances, and third one circulating fluid. That means substances are circulated through the circulatory fluid. Why it is called biochemical process? Because this process occurs within the body of organism. That's why it is called biological process. And since various type of chemical reaction always occurs within our body, that's why this process is named biochemical process. Now we have to see which substances are supported and what is the name of that circulating fluid through which these substances are circulated. Now look at the board. In our body, various physiological system is given, and through these various given system, various types of substances are formed. Suppose that physiological process, I am giving a heading physiological process, and in this physiological process, which substances are transported? Which substances transported? Which substances are transported through this physiological process? First you will see digestive system. When you will see digestive system, you will find complex component of food is converted into simpler form after digestion, and this simpler form, that means these nutrients which are now in simpler form are absorbed by blood and lymph, and then it is transported. That means simpler form of food, which is also called nutrients. Nutrients will be transported in digestive system. After that, come to the respiratory system. Respiratory system. Which substances need to be transported? Actually, gases like carbon dioxide, oxygen, etc. You know very well, transportation of these gases are essential. Carbon dioxide must be expelled out, which is produced during respiration, and oxygen is essential for breaking down of food. These two are gases which must be transported during respiratory system. Now come to the excretory system. When you will see excretory system, various metabolic waste are produced which must be transported. Various metabolic waste are produced which must be transported, and other than metabolic waste, urea is also be transported through the circulating fluid to the excretory organ. Now come to the hormonal system or endocrine system. endocrine system. You know very well that your body is controlled and coordinated by various type of hormones, and these hormones are secreted by endocrine glands, and these hormones are secreted in blood, and through the blood it reaches to the site of action. That means each and every organ of our body demand transportation, and various physiological processes are given in your body so that it can be its product or substances which is essential are transported to different parts of our body. Now come to the circulating fluid. These substances must be transported from one part of the body to other part of the body by circulating fluid. Now look at the circulating fluid. Which circulating fluid are essential, which transport these substances from one part of our body to another part of our body. These circulating fluid are of three types. First one is blood. Second one is tissue fluid. And third one is lymph. These three are circulating fluid in our body. Other than these fluid, various other fluids are also present like synovial fluid, aqueous humor, vitreous humor, etc. But it is not circulating in our body. It is stationary. Only these three fluids are circulating in our body. Blood is contained in, this one is contained in heart and blood vessels. This one is contained in heart and blood vessels. When you will see tissue fluid, it occupies space between cells in organ. Occupy space between cells in organ. Now come to the lymph. Lymph also flows in lymph vessels, and it is also contained in lymphatic organ. That means it produces there. It is produced there. Lymphatic organs like spleen, tonsil, etc. Now you can see here substances are transported from one part of our body to different part of our body through the circulating fluid. What is the name of circulating fluid which flows in our body? These are first one blood, second one tissue fluid, and third one lymph. Blood is contained in heart and blood vessels, whereas lymph tissue fluid occupies space between cells in organ. If you are unable to understand this, we will show it in diagram. Now come to the lymph. Where is lymph present? Lymph actually flows in lymph vessel, and it is also contained in lymphatic organ like spleen, tonsil, etc. Now it is clear from this chart that various circulating fluids circulate in our body so that substances or materials which are essential for the transportation can be transported to one part of our body to another part of our body. That means it is clear that for transportation in human, two systems are provided in your body. First one is blood vascular system. blood vascular system. And second one is called lymphatic system. And second one is called lymphatic system. Now, you will see how blood, lymph and tissue fluids are present, is circulate in our body in diagram. Look at the diagram now. Look at here. This is the diagram which shows, this is the diagrammatic representation of blood and lymph circulation. You can see here diagrammatic representation of blood and lymph circulation. Now look at here. Our heart is triangular in shape, but I have drawn here rectangular. You will suppose this is the, you have to suppose this is the heart. Our heart is 4 chamber. You can easily see 4 chambers in the heart, 2 auricle and 2 ventricle. Just above the heart, lung is present. And just below the heart, you can see different organs are present. And in these different organs, blood is supplied to each and every organs. Heart supplies blood to kidney, to intestine, to stomach, to liver, to limbs, each and every organ of our body. Now look at the diagram. Suppose that in one organ, blood is supplied from the, this is the ventricle, left ventricle, right ventricle, right auricle, left auricle. That means this is the left part of the heart and this is the right part of the heart. You can see in the left side, red colored blood vessels are present, and here in the right side, blue colored blood vessels are present. Why? Actually, this one, red color, shows oxygenated blood. Oxygenated blood. Whereas blue color represent deoxygenated blood. Deoxygenated blood. Now you can see in the diagram, in the left part of the body, blood is oxygenated, and in the right part of our body, blood is deoxygenated. Same in the left side of our heart, oxygenated blood is present, and in the right side of our heart, deoxygenated blood is present. Now look at the diagram. Left ventricle pumps blood through the artery to each and every organ of our body. Suppose that this is an organ. Here artery divides, redivides and converted into capillaries. And when it emerges out from the organ, it unites to form vein. Artery is converted into capillaries. Artery divide to convert into capillaries, and capillaries into vein. Now, look at here. What happened here? Blood supplies nutrients, oxygen to each and every organ of our body. And after that, after metabolic processes in the cell, carbon dioxide is released, and this carbon dioxide rich blood is carried through the vein. It is supplied to the right auricle, that means right part of the heart. Now, when artery supplies oxygen and nutrients to each and every cell of our body, what happens? Some of the blood ooze out. You can see in the diagram also. Some of the blood ooze out from the blood capillaries, and these are accumulated here. What happened after that? Actually, These ooze out blood are carried through the lymph vessel and then supplied to the blood vessel. In that blood vessel which is entering in the heart. That means just before entering in the heart, it supplies it, it mixes it again, it pours it again into the blood vessel as it is clear. And what is the name of this ooze out fluid from the capillary? These are called tissue fluid. That means here it is clear that blood is supplied, blood is circulating in artery, capillary and vein, lymph. Here lymph is, here the ooze out fluid is called tissue fluid, which is also circulating, and when it is carried, through the lymph vessel, it flows as a lymph, and these are lymph node which pumps blood in upward direction, in this direction, so that it can pour it in blood in artery. This is the vena cava. It can pour that vena cava which is entering in the heart, right part of the heart. Now it is clear from the diagram. Artery, capillary, vein carries blood. Lymph vessel, lymph node, it is helpful in carrying lymph, and this is the tissue fluid. That means circulating fluid in our body are of three kinds: blood, lymph and tissue fluid. This one is blood, this one is lymph, and this one is tissue fluid. You can see in the diagram. Next day I will proceed. Thank you.